What is falling intonation, and why do you need it? Let's take a closer look. Hey guys, this is Geoff of Fluent American again, and in this video we're going to be speaking about all the situations where you need to use falling intonation, or at least where it's going to sound most natural. Now, if you're not familiar with intonation, you can see some of our other videos, but we're going to be really focusing on falling intonation, or just like that, falling. Notice that there's going to be some movement with the sound. It's going to start high and end low. Fall. The opposite of this is rising intonation, like rise. And we'll talk more about that in a future video. But again, today we're focusing more on fall. Now, the first case where you're going to use falling intonation is for simple sentences or phrases. Think of times when you're giving a statement. For instance, the sky's blue. The sky's blue. Listen to blue. The last word of that sentence is going to have a falling intonation. Blue. If you say it like blue, that's going to be more rising and not quite what you need. So again, for statements, sentences, when you're talking about facts, you want to use more falling intonation in most sentences. The sky is blue. You're also going to use falling intonation for information questions. Now, if you're not sure what information questions are, those are questions that use words like when, where, how, why, words like that, where the information is not yes or no. So that's right, in English there are sentences where you don't actually use rising intonation. I know a lot of people are taught that when you ask a question in English you have to use rising intonation, and it's just not 100% true. For these information type questions, you want to make sure that you have a fall at the end. So for instance, if you ask the question, what time is it? What time is it? Notice that the it is actually going to have a fall. It. What time is it? What time is it? Falling intonation there. The next situation where you want to use falling intonation is for contrastive stress with questions. Now, contrastive stress is when you're trying to show differences or compare two different things. To give an example, let's say that you're trying to travel and you need to buy a ticket. Your friend asks you, hey, do you need to buy a ticket to Paris or from Paris? To or from? Notice that for that last part, we're going to use from. Want to know if you're using intonation correctly? You should check out our Telegram group where every day you can post audio messages and get feedback on your pronunciation. Take a look at patreon.com/fluentamerican for more details. Now, if you're using contrastive stress just with a sentence, you can also just use falling intonation. For example, you could say, I wanted you to put it on the table, not the chair. I wanted you to put it on the table, not the chair. So notice that in this case, for the sentence, we're going to use falling intonation both on table and on chair. The table, not the chair. One last place where you may see falling intonation are situations where you have a list. Now, I know it's actually probably more common with lists to have a rising intonation. So for instance, if you say, I like football, basketball, and hockey. I like football, basketball, hockey. Do you hear the rises? Football, basketball, and then hockey has to fall there. And that's a very common pattern for lists. But you may also hear people using a falling intonation for all the parts of the list. So for instance, I like football, basketball, and hockey. I like football, basketball, and hockey. So again, fall. Football, basketball, and hockey. All of those having a falling intonation. Don't forget to subscribe to the channel. All right, so again, those are going to be the major cases where you use falling intonation. Let's now do a quick little test. I will tell you a sentence and see if you can identify if it ends with falling intonation or rising intonation. To give you an example, I already ate. Ate has falling intonation there. How about this one? How are you? Falling intonation on you. How are you? Falling. Is he here? Rising intonation. Here, more of a rise. Game, set, match. falling intonation for all of those. Again, game, falling, set, falling, match, falling. How did you do on the quiz? Which of the sentences did you find most difficult? Let us know in the comments.